Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So as you guys could see from the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about when to buy inventory for your online boutique or when to buy more inventory for your online boutique. And this is actually a question that I get a lot on my channel, so I thought why not make a video about it to help you guys out. So I'm basically going to be using the knowledge that I've learned based on my experience being a business owner and also studying fashion business management and fashion merchandising management in college. So that's basically where my knowledge is going to be coming from. So if you are interested, definitely keep on watching. And if you are new to my channel, I just want to say hey, welcome. My name is Donna. I love to do fashion business videos, so if you are interested in that kind of content, definitely hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss out on any of my videos, and also hit the bell so that you could get all of my notifications when I post videos. And if you do find the video helpful, give it a thumbs up because it really does help my channel out a lot. So I would say when you're planning on buying inventory for your online store, you want to plan at least 5 months ahead. Or you could also think about planning based on the seasons. So when you're shopping with a wholesaler, when you go onto their website, you'll probably notice that they put out their product based on the season. And something that you may also notice too, like when you go into stores, like probably when it's like the end of summer, like the last month of summer, you start to see them putting out fall things, or when it's like the last month of winter, you see them putting out spring clothing. So that's kind of how it works in the industry. And you'll probably notice even when it comes to like the holidays, like for Christmas or Valentine's Day, they usually put the merchandise out a month ahead of time, and that's usually done so that they can maximize those sales for the quarter, because usually like by a certain time, that's when they start marking down their clothing items just to get it out so that they could put the new seasonal stuff in. And it's also important to shop ahead of time because a lot of wholesalers, their processing time for their merchandise is completely different, so you just have to know their rules and shop based on that. So just because you purchased a whole bunch of inventory for your store this month, it doesn't mean that it's gonna come this month. You also need to take into account like the location that they're in, how far they are from you. Like if you are shopping internationally, you may have to wait a lot longer for your product. Sometimes it could take a month or two, or sometimes even 3 months for them to get the product to you because of their shipping time and their location. You also want to keep in mind their shipping time for their pre-order items. So if you are on a wholesale website, sometimes they'll have pre-order items that aren't available just yet, but you could purchase it before it's actually available, and then they'll ship it out when they finally receive the merchandise. So let's say you purchase a pre-order item on May, so let's say you purchase a pre-order item on May 1st, but on their website it says that the pre-order item is going to be available like in June. You have to wait that whole month basically for them before they actually ship it out. And if they are international, then their shipping time may be a little longer than someone that you may be shopping with that is in your location, like within the same country as you. And you also want to just be prepared for any kind of delays that may occur. So if you purchase something, don't expect it to be coming to you right away like when you purchase from a regular retailer. Sometimes things happen as well, and you have to wait a little longer for your merchandise to arrive because of shipping carrier issues. They may have delays, there may be issues with your package arriving on time. And when it comes to buying more merchandise for your online store, let's say you have an item that is sold out, or an item, like think about the items that are really popular in your store that sell out really fast. You want to make sure that you always have those items on hand, because that is an item that brings in sales for you really frequently. So you want to have those sales continuing to come in. So always make sure you have that item available. Don't wait until the popular item sells out before you actually bring in new ones, unless that is just something that you want to do. But if it's something that you know always sells in your store, it's one of the top selling items, try to always have it in stock so that you always have that consistent flow of sales coming in. And now going back to the other question of like, how much merchandise to buy for your online store. Like, let's say that you're new and your store is just opening, you don't really have a full understanding of who your target customer is just yet, because that's really how it is. We could really plan and sit down and say, this is my target customer, this is who they are, this is how they shop. But once your store is up and running, you start to see that you have a different target customer than you actually expected, and they're purchasing different types of items that you expected them to, that you didn't expect them to purchase. So I think with this, it comes with trial and error. So like, let's say you have items in your store and you're a new store, and you notice that your customers are gravitating towards a certain piece of merchandise rather than another piece of merchandise that you have. Try to keep those pieces or those items that are similar to each other in stock, because that means that they have interest in them. And then the things that you see aren't, and then the inventory that you see that it's not moving at all, or it's not really moving that fast, then you know that's something that your target customer isn't really into. And you know not to buy items like that for your store, because they don't really sell like that. And it really is like a trial and error kind of thing. You just want to be paying attention to what is selling good and what's not selling good, and you want to just keep the items that aren't selling good out of your store, so that you aren't wasting money on that inventory and then stressing yourself out about trying to sell it as well, because slow moving inventory is just so annoying to deal with. But it's definitely something that happens in this industry. And I did go to FIT, and that's where I learned about like when you're building a store and how many pieces to have in a fashion collection. We're always taught to have at least 10 to 12 pieces in a fashion collection. So when you are launching a business or a fashion, like a store, you want to have at least 10 to 12 pieces available in your store, like 10 to 12 different styles. So that really honestly can be a lot, especially if you are starting your business with not that much money to work with. 10 to 12 styles can be a lot of money, and especially when you buy wholesale, like if you're buying 10 to 12 styles, like when you're receiving just one style has like at least 4 to 6 pieces in it. So imagine that times 12. So that's gonna be a lot of inventory that you're working with. I don't think that we need to have that much inventory in our store. I think that you could start out with really as many as you want, but the industry standard really is 10 to 12 pieces in a collection, 10 to 12 styles in a collection. But I really don't think that is something that you really need to do, especially now with so many people starting businesses and building their brands. You see people starting with very small amounts of inventory and growing their brand that way. So don't pressure yourself to have so many different styles and so much inventory in your store. Just really work with what you can and then build from there. When I did my video last summer about how many pieces to have and you know how much inventory to buy when you're first starting, a lot of people were still confused by my video. But it's really because it's really up to you as a business owner how much you want to have in your collection. You do not have to have 10 to 12 pieces, even though that is like the industry standard in the fashion industry. Like, things have changed a lot and people don't have to follow that standard. So really just use your judgment as a business owner. When I had my old clothing store a couple years ago in 2018, I started off my business with 5 or 6 pieces, with 5 or 6 different styles. And I feel like that was a good amount for me to work with. And that was something that was actually really difficult for me. It wasn't really easy for me to sell all of those pieces that I had, even though I did have the opportunity to. I was able to see how the industry worked starting then. So I was so happy that I didn't purchase a lot of inventory just because, you know, I think that it's the industry standard. I was just okay with working with what I could work with, and I was able to learn a lot from there. So don't pressure yourself to have so many you know, different styles in your store when you're first starting out. Just allow yourself to work with what you can. Like, there are literally people who start their store with like 2 to 3 pieces, and then after they sell out of that, then they start adding more inventory. So really just do what you can. Like, and I really feel like that's what entrepreneurship is about. It's about just learning about the industry and taking risks and not being afraid to make mistakes and mess up, not being afraid to lose money, because you know, you have to see what works for you and your business and how your target customers react to what you have. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that it wasn't confusing at all. And even if it is, even if you are still confused and you want like a definite number, just know there is really no definite number. You do not have to have a certain amount. So just start with what you have, and that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.